Hi guys, it's Treble here. Oh my god, what have we got here? So we've got Circus Freak Time, that's what we're doing, and I'm going to guess that all you do is go around and kill random things. They probably are zombies, they look like zombie dead people. Obviously you mix it with a circus because everybody's scared of circuses and clowns. And I wonder if you actually play the clown because, you know, basically that would be a lovely little joke. Oh, there you go.
Here's the thing for you. When you used to play games, right, if you didn't like the story, would you make your own story up? Because I did. Let me tell you about this.
You've got imagination.
I know, I used to actually play with Lego as well. But the thing is,
I still play with Lego. I have lots of Lego.
This is a great game, right? Because, well, it's a terrible game, but it's got a good little engine behind it. Let me explain why it's quite interesting. It's Killing Floor. And I've only ever played. I've probably only ever played about like 15, 20 minutes of this game. But it reminds me of the games that you used to play and you would make your own story up. So I did this with this game particularly because it's actually the Unreal Tournament engine again. Incredible again, I know, it's really prevalent across. But the idea is that you shoot stuff, you get money, you then level up and you can buy better guns and all that. It's just absolute bollocks, seriously. But the idea is, or rather the enjoyable part of it is you can actually... I used to make my own stories up as I played these games.
Was the game that boring that you had to make up a story? That is really sad. Then you shouldn't buy the game, really, should you? And to be honest, you're saying it's on the Unreal Tournament, you know, engine. That just means all it is that the interface is different and everything else is the same. I bet you the maps are even the same if you actually compared them.
Don't know, but the thing about this game is it's very unplausible in what it does. It's another skill
test. This is that place where you got the map from, what's it from?
It's another skill test game where you're really just, there's no story. There's just a series of mechanics that you then have to do. So you kind of have to make your own story up. So
what's the skills? What skill test? What skills does it taste? That's it?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, you've got to be a good shot. You can't play this game if you're literally a ham-fisted moron like me. And that's why I don't do very well with it, because it does rely on you being tactical. It relies on you being strategic. And most of all, it relies on you being able to shoot straight, which is something I have a bit of trouble with.
I actually think most of all, it relies on you being alive to play it. No, maybe? I don't know. It's just
another example, unfortunately, of I think the way that gaming is kind of going, where again, another example of good ideas. It's a multiplayer co-op game, so it's very similar to Left 4 Dead, and I think really that was what it was trying to copy. But I don't really understand games like this because they just feel very much like tech demos, if I'm honest. And I think Killing Floor is a great example of this. You can play it on the tube, as in not play it on the tube. You can actually have a map where you're playing this survival horror on the underground. And that was quite cool for about 10 minutes, and then you realise what a terrible kind of buggy game it is. So it just...
Well, that shows you. All it is a different interface, but the whole premise of the game is the same. So I'm guessing, there'll probably be one that you could play deep under the sea. It'll still be the same thing.
Yeah.
There's
and
nothing
that's
different.
The problem. There's no story. And it's almost as if all of games' story writers stopped trying or even turning up for work in around sort of...
Or maybe they didn't engage any.
Well, there wasn't any. There's no story here.
People don't sit here and think that we want some substance. Well, I think every story should have some substance.
Well, why is it nowadays that story is such a secondary feature? Dare I mention Destiny here? The story there was very short, but they were just making mechanics. They were almost making a mechanics-filled program, and then it was like a little sprinkling of story.
I felt that Destiny I was disappointed, as many of you may know.
I think there was no story. It's almost as if story takes a second place. And I think, again, I don't know why I've included it. I think it's because it's a game that I kind of respect. I respect that it's tried to be something different, but then it's kind of stumbled right into the waiting room of all the other games in the world where they're trying to do the same thing, which is be the gory zombie killed, equipment laden game. So,
just so I know, are we going to cover Destiny in this lovely collection of...
I'm afraid it didn't make the cut.
Oh, that's a shame. You guys could have really heard what I really think of Destiny. It starts off great, great story, and then you realise you only have 4 maps. I'm sure somebody mentioned to me the other day that, they've released some more content, so they're drip feeding me.
I think they're about to. I don't think they've done it yet.
They had that much money. They charged me 40 quid, I think, to buy the flipping game. and I had 3-4 days before we had completed all of them, and then it was a case of foraging.
Play the same map over and over
until
with
you
different
can
modifiers,
until you can get some of that legendary gear. And recently, because I haven't played it for that long, Bungie sent me an email saying, "Hey, haven't seen you for a while. You know, here's some tips on how you can get some legendary gear."
Wow.
I was like, wow. So people are having issues because the only type of people who could play this game are true MMO players, where all they'll do is sit there and play the same maps over and over again. And unfortunately, that's not my type of gaming. I think it's got to keep your interest, and you shouldn't. I felt very disappointed. I know this isn't the game that we're talking about now.
To conclude, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. This is why games like this, I think, confuse me a bit, because it's the same map, it's the same game, it's just a different experience each time. And I think, there you go, that was Killing Floor. Very strange. And I guess we show it because it's a bit of a strange way the gaming industry is going.
Or as I call it, crazy circus time.